Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the UX Voyager where we think and talk about the meaningful dimensions of the user experience design. It is sunny in the day and rainy in the night, and in this part of the world where I am, guess what? The generator guys can't relate. Today, we are cruising on an interesting voyage, the double digital life of Nigerians, or let me say, the digital duality of Nigerians. This is something we don't really talk about as we switch from high advanced tech usage to old school method of doing things. Me as a UX designer, I use tools like Figma, Adobe XD, Miro, and the likes. But I still prefer to ideate and sketch on paper while I go and complete the hi-fi screens on my laptop. I don't think my pen and paper experience can be replaced, not even with iPad and touch pens. What I'm simply saying is that I can complete the end-to-end design process and documentation with just Figma. But if I have not included pen and paper, quality of output may not be fulfilled. Another illustration is the experience of reading hard copy to e-copy. The only time I had no choice reading e-copies were those handouts that came out a few days to the day of exam. Everything I'm reading at that point should just be copy, so I can copy. So why does this matter if you're building a product particularly for Nigerians or Africans at large? Let me tell you an interesting story. My plug for Pepe and Meat has something in common. They only accept cash as a form of payment. The reason I'm a returning customer is because they are very generous. These vendors have middle-tier phones. They can chat on WhatsApp, send endless BCs to their children, use bank apps, but where they draw the line is accepting any form of digital payment. There's also a supermart where I do buy household stuff, and during checkout, after logging my information into the computer, they open a big ledger note to fill in the same customer info. Trust issues. And here's the thing, this is not weird at all. It's just how we roll. You probably know someone who trades Bitcoin like a pro, but still prefers to call a travel agent instead of booking flights online. If it counts, the people who use bucket and bowl to bath when there's a running shower. Time about, I can't add the towel to the shower. Ish. The crazy part is that it is not just about who has access to tech or who understands it. Majority of us are deliberately choosing to live in the multiple tech worlds at the same time. We are switching back and forth based on what we trust, what actually works, when the network is bad, and honestly, who we are trying to impress at that moment. At the heart of all of this digital double living is what I call the trust paradox, where we have some seriously contradictory feelings about technology. I just keep noticing this weird pattern. The same person who is screaming, "I would never pay with my card on any website," is also casually giving the POS agent to help get their card from OPay or keep their card till the network is good so they can make a transaction. Make it make sense. When I dug deeper, I realized something intriguing. Trust is not about big padlocks, security feature, or even big brand names. It's about knowing exactly who to call when stuff goes wrong. So if something goes wrong with their card, they can call the POS guy. This is peculiar to me. If I have any problem with any bank, my next step is reaching out to my friends to know if they have anybody working in so bank. This is one of the reasons people are skeptical with all these new fintechs. Who do I call? The trust we have for technology is hinged on the trust of the person we can call when things go wrong. For example, my mom believes that as a tech guy, when anything is wrong with her account, she expects me to fix it. She can even call me to ask if I know the password to one of her accounts, and she will get angry if I can't remember something I did not create. We simultaneously want advanced digital experience and a human we can call when things go sideways. We want the convenience of technology and someone to hold accountable. Hence, the common saying among my people, "It is not my fault." They want someone who they can put that blame on. The apps and services that are really outstanding in this duality nature, they don't just try to force us to go fully digital or forget our old ways. They understand that this back and forth is our reality, and it's not just some phase that we are going through until we catch up with the West. Another fun thing about digital double life is how we we creative now, how we deal with certain things, let me call it infrastructure challenges. The standard story is that we have a poor infrastructure and that is holding us back. But that's not the full picture. What I see everywhere are this hybrid system that mix online and offline approach in a way that we are actually more resilient than going fully digital. Imagine Netflix is only streaming and no download and watch later. I was even surprised to know people actually download the movie on Netflix, switch off their data, and then watch the movie. Wow. The idea is that these people are saving data and they believe that streaming consumes battery. I'm a strong advocate of not interacting with pirated material, so you guys that download elsewhere, you're on your own. All those people that also do digital, that they accept digital payments for maybe electronics, you have bought it, and they still write you your receipt in paper because you never know. Well, my father will want that. He has an old bag of receipts, so it's a perfect mix of old school and new school. The most interesting part is when people finally get to access this fancier all-in-one solution, many still keep this mixed system running. They will tell you not to put all your eggs in one digital basket. For those of us building digital products, we have experienced this. So this means that we can't just force people to go all in our tasteful way of doing things now. The smartest app actually embrace this reality and they let you generate content that is easy to share on WhatsApp and they work well offline or even sync when your network decides to cooperate again. Now let me tell you about how we use technology as a fashion statement. This is completely separate from whether it is useful. So let's look at it like this. Open LinkedIn. It's all proper English and professional achievements. When you open Twitter, their persona are a bit different. They are political, hot takes, and social commentaries. Then you go to WhatsApp, you see it's full of memes, personal stuff, prayer point, NLPDD, whatnot. Okay, Snapchat, let's not go there. Even these devices, people use it to tell a story. The same guy who pulls out the latest iPhone in a business meeting might deliberately switch to an older phone when visiting his family in his hometown. This is not because iPhone does not work there. It's simply because showing up with an expensive phone sends the wrong message in that context. So you don't want your village people to now start following you. So as designers, we need to understand that we are not just thinking, does this app work well? They're also thinking, what does this app say about me? The most successful products here give you both solving real problems and making them stand out, making them outstanding. So after all my observations and research, here's what I think makes for great design in our digital duality today. 1. Stop forcing people to choose one lane. Design an experience that lets users smoothly switch between their digital and old school touch point. Let them start the process online, and if they need to finish it offline, please let them. 2. Show people what is happening behind the scenes. We hate black boxes where you can't see what is going on. It's just like traffic in Lagos. You don't know what's going on in front, and everybody's just at the back there lamenting. So we have been burned too many times. Show the process, not just the final result. 3. Plan for everything to break. Seriously, just plan for everything to break. Don't just design for when everything works perfectly. Design for actual reality. What happens when the network cuts? What happens in the middle of transaction when network just... What happens when my battery just goes out, when the power just goes out? The best application have all these smart fallbacks for all these cases. 4. Remember that every app and website is not just a tool. It is something people associate with their identity. Understand how using your product makes people feel about themselves and how others might see them as well. Finally, respect what it looks like. Contradictory or inconsistent behavior, it always have this deep wisdom behind it. When someone insists on getting a paper receipt after a digital transaction, they are not being difficult. They are just smart based on their lived experience. So as Nigerians, things keep changing and evolving digitally. And this is not about any other thing than our dual lifestyle, and it is not going away anytime soon. It is not a bug in our system, it is a feature. The product that will win big there are the ones that embrace how we actually live, rather than some Silicon Valley textbook of how we should actually live. So, see you on the next one. I'm your host, Mubarak Babajide. We have had a lot for today, and thank you very much.